Have you ever heard a space myth that made you question everything you thought you knew about the universe? Like, can astronauts really explode without their suits? Or is space totally silent, like the world's most awkward Zoom call? Well, it's time to separate the facts from the cosmic fiction, and yeah, we're probably going to crush some of your childhood space dreams today. Space myths are everywhere. You see them in movies, you see them in memes, and you hear them from your uncle who swears he knows a guy from NASA. But the truth? Space is way weirder, and honestly, funnier than most of those myths. So today we're tackling the wildest ones, from exploding astronauts to man-eating black holes. And trust me, number 5 is going to make you question both physics and humanity. So, stick around. All right, let's start with a classic. Hollywood absolutely lied to you. You don't instantly explode in space. Instead, you swell up dramatically. Here's the science. Without atmospheric pressure holding you together, the gases in your body start to expand. You'd pass out in about 15 seconds from lack of oxygen, but you wouldn't pop. Basically, you'd look like a confused, puffy balloon, not a firework display. But hey, if you ever wanted to cosplay as a giant marshmallow, space has got you covered. It's a much less dramatic but way more awkward way to go. Next up, in space, no one can hear you scream. We've all heard it. Well, technically, they can't hear you with their ears because there's no air for sound waves to travel through. But that doesn't mean space is completely silent. Space actually hums with electromagnetic frequencies. NASA has even converted these frequencies into sound, and let me tell you, it's hauntingly beautiful. It's like the universe has its own playlist. So yes, space talks. It's just vibing at a frequency that we humans can't naturally hear. It's less silent and more of an exclusive club that our ears aren't invited to. And here's the biggest misconception of them all, that black holes suck everything in like some kind of cosmic vacuum cleaner. They don't. If the sun suddenly turned into a black hole right this second, don't panic, it won't. Earth would just keep orbiting it like nothing happened. It would just be a lot darker and colder and, sadder. Black holes only devour things that are unlucky enough to cross their event horizon. It's kind of like your diet. You're perfectly safe until you open the fridge door at midnight. Ah, my favorite internet conspiracy theory. No. Aliens did not build the pyramids. Humans did, with a brilliant combination of math, muscle, and probably way too much free time. The ancient Egyptians were genius engineers who figured out incredible feats of construction. They weren't just waiting around for E.T. to show up with a laser level. Let's give humanity some credit for once. We managed to build one of the wonders of the world, all without Wi-Fi or a single YouTube tutorial. Here's a fun one that people have been repeating for generations. You can see the Great Wall of China from space. Surprise! You can't. Astronauts who have actually been up there say they can't see it, at least not with the naked eye. The Great Wall is long, but it's very narrow and made of materials that blend right in with the surrounding landscape. It's not like cities that glow at night like a giant plate of neon nachos. So unless the Great Wall gets some serious LED upgrades with disco lights, it's pretty much invisible from orbit. Okay, is space cold? Yes, space is cold, but not in the simple way you might think. It's a place of extreme temperatures. If you're floating in direct sunlight, you'd burn up faster than your late-night pizza in the oven, reaching about 120 degrees Celsius. But the second you float into a shadow, you'd freeze solid, dropping to around minus 150 degrees Celsius. It's basically the worst weather app ever. 1 second you're boiling, the next you're a human popsicle. There is no happy medium. Now this one isn't strictly a space myth, but it pops up in sci-fi all the time. We only use 10% of our brains. Sorry to burst that bubble, but you're using your whole brain right now, even just by watching this. The 10% myth likely came from a misunderstanding of early brain scans, plus a little bit of Hollywood creativity to make movies more exciting. Think about it. If we only used 10% of our brains, TikTok probably wouldn't exist, and neither would your microwave. Our brains are amazing, and we use all of them. So here's the craziest part about all of this. Space myths survive because the truth often sounds even stranger. For example, stars don't actually twinkle in space. That's just an effect of our atmosphere. According to astronauts, the moon smells like spent gunpowder. And those iconic astronaut suits? They're basically personal pressurized spaceships that double as toilets with legs. The universe is hilarious and terrifying at the exact same time, kind of like doing your taxes. The reality is always more fascinating than the fiction. So the next time someone tells you a wild fact about space, just remember, the truth might be weirder, funnier, and a whole lot more mind-blowing than any myth you've ever heard. The cosmos is full of surprises, and we're just getting started exploring them. All right, astronauts of the internet, now it's your turn. What's the craziest space myth you've ever heard? Drop it down in the comments, and I might just feature it in the next video. And hey, if you enjoyed debunking these myths with me, make sure you subscribe to the funny fact before gravity decides to unsubscribe you. Thanks for watching.